And welcome back to the Metal Teddy Bear Experience here, 90.3 WMSC. This is your host, Chris, and I have a very special guest on the line. I have Marzi, the guitarist of Heavy as Texas. What's up, man? How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm pretty pumped. A good day here. We're actually finally have nice weather. Usually it's really rainy and cold, but today I didn't really need a sweatshirt, so it's been pretty good. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Houston, Texas, where it is absolutely hot as heck.
Okay. No, we're from Jersey here. So it's been really rainy lately. I think it was 60 degrees.
Mo, you had a good day, man.
Yeah, that's
Clear
what I mean.
skies.
Yeah, because usually you
Nice.
have to go outside with your umbrella and everything, and it's not too fun
Yeah.
being drenched all
Yeah,
the
it
time.
kind of sounds gloomy, man.
But I should have guessed that you were calling from Texas, given that you're Heavy as Texas. So
Absolutely, yeah.
failure on my part. I apologize.
Well, you never know, man. There's some bands that actually, Alabama Thunder Pussies from West Virginia,
Yeah.
So,
Well, you guys are always touring too. Bands are always moving around, going to different states and countries. So, but let's talk a little bit about your brand new record, your brand new project. You released the self-titled album. I think it was April 19th via Crunchy Western Records. Is that your own label, or is that like an existing record company?
that is, I guess, it's a label that I co-own, yes.
Okay, because that was I'm like, that's too perfect to not be his. When'd you start that?
It initially started in November 2017 when I had an idea for a long time about just having a platform where I could just have complete artistic freedom to put out art and music and movies and videos and whatnot, and then to branch it out and to offer the same services for, once we get to become a full functioning label, then we can actually offer our services. We're getting there. We're getting there slowly. So basically the plan for the label was for me to put out an EP as sort of an appetizer, like Hello, Who We Are, which I did with Ripper Owens on vocals. And then that was in 2017, I believe. And and then this year we put out Heavy as Texas full LP. And this is our main course. I produced both albums. And so the production work from the label is, pretty much standard. This is what you kind of get. I work with the same kind of engineers. And the formula has been really, really awesome, man. And I've been blessed to have put together, assemble, I guess you would say, a team that functions very well. Like all moving parts are functioning together very well. I don't micromanage, and I stay out of the way. And I'll let all the, parties involved do their thing, the best they can do. And it's just man, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's the best way to work. I mean, just have eyewitness when people usually, you let each person do their own part and you step in when you have to. I feel like that, makes everything smooth.
Absolutely. And how you go about that is, also matters. But yeah, that's just being there, paying attention and to when you should, basically, the trick is to be out your own way, not to get in the way, and to offer help when it's needed, to be like a silent observer, kind of, sort of. But, I ultimately have the goal to get the music and the art and all that stuff out, I'm writing the songs. Kyle's doing the music. The lyrics. And so altogether, collectively, I have that stamp on it because I have to produce it. I have to say, okay, this is it, put the seal of approval on it and then move on forward. So far, man, I've been really happy. I was really happy with the Uprising, which was my first effort, and I knew that I had to outdo it. And I outdid it with a record that was not necessarily as heavy as the Uprising, but I would say less heavy. So Heavy as Texas is not as heavy metal as the first record. In some ways it's heavier, but overall I would say it's got a unique tone because I took the gain section out of my guitar out pretty much. I stacked guitars that were ballsy, but they didn't have a lot of saturation. And ironically, I'm called the high priest of distortion. But I didn't use a lot of distortion. So it's a very clean sounding record, I would say.
So how long did you how long did it take you to write all this? Were you sitting on this material for a while, or did you?
Some of it, yes.
Okay, because I noticed you have
Some
eight tracks on here, and I usually when bands like do like less than 10, it usually means like those are the strongest tracks, and they didn't want to do anything else. Was that the case?
Well, we started off with 18. 10 that probably going to go on the second record. I even thought about doing the debuting a double record. I thought about that. But it wasn't that these were the strongest songs. It was just like there was a lot of strong songs, and I thought to myself, which would be good, and diverse to catch for, like side A or one thing, and then so I have about 10 plus songs for our sophomore attempt, and you never know, like something else might pop up. Those songs that just come out of nowhere. I'm probably more than 10 or 11 songs ready to go for the next album. Not lyrically, but maybe 3 or 4. But the rest is, Mr. Thomas has to come in and do his thing. But so yeah, these were just like handpicked, and not because they were the strongest of what we had. We still have a good repertoire of material that we're gonna put out, and then it kind of like when it does come out, it'll make sense because it kind of is like the same type of a record, which it doesn't follow any kind of rules. It's heavy in some places, real heavy, grooves in some places. It's bluesy, it's jazzy, it's got acoustic parts on it, violins and all that. So it's extreme in like both ends, kind of. And that album's second or sophomore record is just gonna be basically the same, and we're gonna follow the same rule as we did on the first record, which we wrote 8 entirely different songs. So they have different rhythms, they have different feelings, and they say different things. And so we carefully are going to do the same with the second record.
Did you ever like strip down the songs to like an acoustic level? Because I know sometimes when bands go like to extreme, genres like heavy, soft, kind of like that, they like to strip it down to like an acoustic level. Did you do that?
Yeah, man. I think it all should always be able to be translated down to that level. Always, because it is songwriting. It's the delivery, I think, that makes it heavy. I mean, I think Heavy as Texas easily could do an acoustic set with the drummer and be just as heavy because it's the delivery of the way you play with your fingers
You guys should definitely
and
do
the
that.
rhythms.
Because I love when bands do that when they do acoustic sets. So
I do too, man. I do too.
it translates so well. At least some bands translate really well. Like when they do like radio shows, they go on and they play with just the acoustic. I love that. I usually look up videos like that all the time.
Yeah, that's those are gems right there. I love those too because it's a different take and a different approach, and it's killer, man. Sometimes most times it's like magical. Sometimes it's just like they
Yeah.
really need the electric guitars.
Because like
Sometimes
you could change it up on acoustic too, like just the way you play chords and stuff like that. And I don't know. It's like you said, it's a whole different feel.
Exactly.
So you said this might have been like a double record. You think about releasing it back to like just double record like that. Are you usually a fan of double records from other bands, or do you usually not dig them?
Yeah, well, so I'm older, so growing up, listening to music was the thing to do. Which is sometimes I don't know if it's a dying art or not. I still listen to music. So yeah, it was like, what was my first double record? I want to say it was Pink Floyd, The Wall.
Okay.
And you can't even get enough of that. It was just like it was like being at a buffet 24/7, being a fat kid at a buffet. It's just like, man, this is awesome. There was Double Live Gonzo, Ted Nugent's Double Live record. I love that one. Let's never forget, Song Remains the Same. That's a must, and also Physical Graffiti. So yeah, man, I'm a big fan of that. Big fan of it. And I'm forgetting another band that did it. It's just slipping my mind right now. Who else did double records?
Well, the reason I asked is because I feel like sometimes bands get a little like they get too much negativity online when they release double records. Like Metallica put out a double record, or for Hardwired, and they
It's
got
for the times, I believe, Chris. I believe it's the times, man. I think it's because the attention span has, like, through the years has gone down, and people don't have the attention span,
Yeah.
It's like, and it's both like what we're fed through air, water, food, and media and television and stuff like that. So it was just like kind of like, I don't know, maybe I sound like maybe a kook saying this, but altogether, you can see that people don't have the attention span. At the same time, a lot of music lovers do have it, and they love it. They love every single second of it, and they want it. They want it. They want it like it's some forbidden fruit. They want it, and I I think it's the timing for marketing is probably a friggin'. I think the last band I saw do that was maybe it was in Guns N' Roses do that when they have the comeback record. It was a double record.
Chinese
I may
Democracy.
I may be mistaken,
I thought Chinese
but I'm not.
Democracy was one, but I could be wrong on that too. Is that the one you're talking
Was it
about?
a double record?
I thought it was only one record. I didn't think it was
It's
double.
one record. All right, man. Then my bad. So yeah, I don't remember the last double record. I know. I guess it would be Metallica then. But why wouldn't they do it? Why wouldn't you like if you're a buyer? Why wouldn't you want to have that? That's if that's your band, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, like more
If
than
Van
merrier.
Halen put out a double record right now, I'd be first in line.
Yeah, I
But
feel.
again, people don't have the attention span, and I didn't write a record that was this the length that it was for that reason. I'm a big fan of just the stuff that I kind of grew up on, and then so was Kyle, and so I thought to myself like I'm not doing the '90s record where it's just like 45-minute 50-minute albums 50 almost an hour and stuff like that. I looked at all the Van Halen records, man. They were all like 33 minutes long, 31, 32, 34, 35, and all this stuff. I think mine clocks in at 36.
Yeah, right
And it
around
just
there.
leaves a lot of room, man. It leaves a lot of room for a sophomore attempt. Our third attempt, our fourth attempt, and fifth attempt. And in that, hopefully, I'm looking at an acoustic album. Either live or like all original acoustic songs. Kind of like what Alice in Chains kind of did with Sap and Jar of Flies, right? Strictly, and Led Zeppelin did a lot of acoustic stuff too, a lot in that kind of vein. I'm a big fan of just like I kind of want to always do a live record too, man.
Oh, live
I
records
would
are
love
always
to
fun.
do a live record, a real live record. Where you just like drop a mic and just go
So I don't know.
capture the vibe.
I'm not sure if you've been looking in like music news lately, but Soilwork frontman Bjorn Speedstreet, he talked about
Who's front man? My bad. I
Soilwork.
didn't hear you.
Soilwork.
Okay.
Yeah, he was talking about how full album tours are destroying the music scene, and that was like a really interesting statement to me because I don't really think they are destroying the scene. He says it's forcing bands to play classic albums instead of supporting their new albums to draw people. So what's your take
Well,
on that?
I can't agree with that sentiment because it's not with what you're saying. I'm agreeing with you. I believe that I think that that's the artist's choice, and it's like and there's I think it's sentimental and it's unique, and it's not forever. So it's shining a particular light on a particular kid that you got. There's nothing wrong with that. If an artist chooses to do that, they do it. I mean, not everybody is setting the rules for somebody else, man. That doesn't mean somebody else has to do it.
And he also said that because they keep asking him to do Natural Born Chaos, and he also asking Stabbing the Drama, and he said it wouldn't be the same because they don't have the same lineup. Would that change anything?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. It depending on what kind of players you have and how much justice you want to give to the music. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know what kind of players they have right now to, are able. That I guess that does play a key factor. Let's put it that way. I couldn't say either or, but I know that a lot of bands go on, and just depends.
Because just as a fan, I love when bands do album tours because you get to see those like deep cuts or those songs that don't really get played live because they're not a big hit or anything like that.
Right,
and
right.
some bands that have been around forever, they can't play everything. They only have like an hour set, so you get to see
Well,
those
I
songs
promise
that you
you,
never see.
we're going to do that for a fact. You want me to tell you why?
You're gonna play the whole
Hello?
album?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So
You know why, right?
why is that?
Because we only got one album.
That's true. That is true.
We're absolutely going to play it, man. We're absolutely going to play the whole thing. Now, I think, to be honest with you, we're going to work at different sets. Um, I do have the EP songs that I did before.
Yeah.
So there's 4 songs on there. It's a good possibility that 2 out of those 4, maybe 3, will make the cut because they kind of have, the oomph that the other material has. Especially they're. Go ahead.
Like the Uprising? Is that what you're talking about?
The Uprising, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The pumping tracks from the Uprising, I think, with Kyle singing, would be great live. They're live songs basically. And they've done it before. And in all honesty, in 2016, when I had the Uprising songs written, and I sent it to Kyle. Kyle basically, Ripper had done the demo on it. Kyle basically copied it. We played live. When we played live, we played 6 songs. 2 that ended up being on the Heaviest Texas album, and the 4 that were on the Uprising. We played those opening up for Anthrax. I think pretty sure it was 2016. Without rehearsing, without sound check, just got on stage, and I just given him a tape, and this guy just gets up there and murders it. And I'm like, it's like, what just happened? I was like, man, I was trying to keep my composure so I wouldn't mess up playing guitar because I was just like about to put it down and start laughing out of giddiness. I was like, man, this is wow. He was destroying it, man. And that was my first experience with him on stage. Now I've been on the same stage with him many, many times, and he's like a wild man. He never misses a beat. He's like the conductor, man. He's up there just wailing, and he never ceases to amaze me, man. Live, Kyle Thomas always does something night after night that makes you go, damn, dude. So it's a pleasure to work with it, dude.
For anyone tuning in right now, you're listening to 90.3 WMSC up in Montclair. This is the Metal Teddy Bear Experience, and I got Marzi, the guitarist of Heaviest Texas. All right, so on my show...
You can call me Marzi.
All right, so on my show, I do 3 random silly questions. Are you ready to take part in that?
Yikes. Let's do this.
All right, so I'll give you an easy one right now. What is the worst smell?
What is the worst smell?
Yeah. What's the worst smell you encountered?
Stick your finger in your belly button.
What? Oh, man, I never gotten that one. Usually I get something like old sushi or rotten milk or something. Never gotten put your finger in your belly button. I like it. Question number 2, what is the worst taste? Did I stump you there?
Yeah, man. I mean, the worst taste?
Yeah. And remember, we are college radio, so it has to be
I absolutely understand. I'm literally thinking of an experience where I was just like, worst taste. There is worst taste. I definitely would have to be rotten dairy, like rotten milk or something.
Oh, drinking that, yeah. That's pretty gross. I remember one time I didn't really pay attention in the morning. I was making my coffee, and I just grabbed the milk out of the fridge, and I poured it in there. I'm like, this tastes funny. And then I realized it was like old chunky milk.
I accidentally do that. Like you're thinking about something else, and you pour some cottage cheese in your coffee thinking it's milk.
Dude, my friend actually did that with...
worst taste, it would be something like that.
My friend
I can't think of anything else.
Detergent. He poured dish detergent in his coffee because he wasn't paying attention.
Wow.
Yeah, it was in a bag, a clear bag or something, and he just thought it was a bag of sugar, and he poured it in, and it wasn't. It's pretty gross.
Wowzers.
Yeah. All right.
That sounds like a Cheech and Chong skit. Go ahead.
Basically. All right. So if you can have a movie based on your life, who would you want the actor to be?
Antonio Banderas.
Solid. Any
either that or Johnny Depp? Maybe Johnny Depp.
Any like time period of Johnny Depp, like Chocolat or whatever, or Pirates of the Caribbean Johnny Depp? Or Antonio Banderas, what, Zorro period, or just anytime?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. You basically just name both of them when they look like them at those periods. That's funny, man. Yeah, either or.
That's awesome. Okay.
It would work. Maybe both of them.
I
I
mean,
could play different eras of my,
yeah, you can make a, what do you call it? Trilogy out of it, right?
right. Which is now we have to find the third person.
All right. So bonus round right now. Are you a fan of Game of Thrones at all?
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I have never ever have seen a single, like, I want to say not even 10, 15 seconds of it. And I don't want to say that out of disrespect for it, because obviously I've heard nothing but great things about it. And everyone that I know tells me that I would love it, because that's just, I think supposedly I would love it a lot. But I've never had the chance to sit down. I've never had the time to sit down and watch television. So I don't know a thing about Game of Thrones.
Well, it's definitely something you have to dedicate your time to, because there's a lot. It's hour episodes, and I binge watched it, but I had my teeth pulled, so I had a lot of time on my hands.
Wow. I think that next time, if time allows and like the facilities allow, next time we go on a long run on a tour, where we just go out for a whole entire month, that would be a good opportunity. When you're traveling, definitely is a good way to kill some time. Either reading is could get you headaches, especially when when you have glasses like I do. When you read, you can get your headaches on the bus. You can watch movies, kind of relax you. I could start getting into it.
Yeah, it's basically movies with how long they are, like little mini movies.
I'm into that, man. I'm into that. I've watched different shows before. I think I've finished watching I don't remember what was the last season of Walking Dead. I watched for like a lot of seasons of that, and like I said, I just couldn't watch television anymore. I think I finished Dexter. So I have Trailer Park Boys. Really love that show a lot.
I never
so I
got
watched
into that yet. I always wanted to watch that.
Ginormous South Park fan, man, and so I guess as much as I'm saying I don't watch television, South Park is something like I will find a way at one point or another to catch the episodes in the season. There's been seasons that I've entirely missed, but I'll go back and I will watch it. It's gotten so surreal now. It's just like I don't even know when to laugh. But I appreciate what they do and the way they go about it. It's so intelligent, man. I really, really like that show.
Oh yeah, they're always spot on with their jokes. They're solid. So that was the random silly question segment. Hope you had fun with that.
Absolutely, man. I thought that was awesome.
So what is the next? What do you guys have planned for Heavy as Texas? Shows? What do you guys have going on?
So if the listeners don't know yet, our album came out April 19th, debut album, and in the essence, when we were asked what our mission was and what was it that I really wanted to do with this music was, and I kept saying to boards, I want to give it back. I want to give it back. So I wanted to give it back to the people who have influenced me, to my friends, to my family, to the listener out there, to the public that was there was a void for this kind of music. And its integrity level. I wanted to just give it back. So I ultimately, you can go to heavyastexas.com, our website, and you can get a download of this album for free. No strings attached, absolutely. So, I made a little short video of it. We shared it on social media, and it's no strings attached, but I did ask our people that did it to, all I ask is share it with your friends. Jam it at a party, listen to it in your car, crank it up. Let people know about it, and when we show up in your town, come see us play. So, yes, we're going to now, the album is out. We have 2 more videos, a second single and a third single coming out. And in the midst of that, we're working on either going out with someone or putting a regional, local thing together for ourselves. But we're definitely going to go out and start going out. And as the label grows and we get distribution internationally, we'll start playing out of the country as well. But there's a lot of ground to cover. U.S. is our home. The state that I live in is enormous, and it's just we can do just a Texas tour for a month long. And But we definitely want to take it across America. You know, East Coast, West Coast, and all the way up to Canada. Take it to South America. I've never been to the East. I want to go to the far East. I've been to the Eastern Europe, all the way, from Moscow to Estonia to Warsaw and Poland, all those countries, Latvia, Eastern Europe. But I've never crossed it, to Japan. Japan is like my goal. So we want to get it out there, and that's, we feel like this brand, this music that we're doing is kind of like for everybody. So we wouldn't take it around the world and just kind of like throw a party, and people can come out and celebrate with us with us playing these songs.
So it'll be the Heavy As Texas World Tour. I like it.
Absolutely.
Well, hopefully you guys come by New Jersey soon. Get to see you guys over here, Montclair, New Jersey, or New York City. That's close as well. 30-minute drive, not far at all.
I do want to say a thing about Jersey. Jersey always gets the stereotypical rap, right? Yeah, all y'all know that too. So do we in Texas. I want to say I have a ton of friends in Jersey, and I absolutely love and adore every single one of them. They're just the most warm-hearted folks that I know, and so big shout out to Jersey.
Thank you, man. Yeah, usually we don't get that kind of a stereotype.
Well, that's
awesome.
Well, that's my take on it. It's like, you guys are awesome.
Thank you, man. We'll be happy to see you. Heavy As Texas, Subtitle Record, guys. Pick it up. You can download it on their website. Well, thank you, man. Thank you for taking the time out to do this.
Well, thank you for having me.
No problem, man. Have a great night.
You too.
Trapped in a hopeless trance, under the witch's dance, beneath the gaslit night of incantations.